friendly matches in the international calendar. This time, how helpful has it been just to have that extra time to work on the pitch with some big World Cup qualifiers coming later in the year?
Yeah, it's good. Like you say, unusual to have a couple of friendlies together. Good opponent in Iceland, then an opponent that we can make difficult if we don't do it properly at Liechtenstein on Monday. But the biggest thing for me is that everybody's turned up. I think that's great. We come to the end of the long, hard season. A lot of them could have had little excuses or little niggles. There's one or two in the camp now that are still getting rid of little niggles for the end of the season. But they're all here and they all want to play, and that's great for me.
What does that say about the level of commitment in the group? Because in years gone by, there perhaps would have been some that might have pulled out at this time of the season.
On the years gone by, I can't really comment on, but since I came here, this group of players have always said they are so committed to coming and performing for their country. Every time I pick a squad, they all want to be here. One or two of them have called me up in this camp that I haven't selected, asking me to select them, but if they're not quite fit, then obviously I can't do that. So I'm sure you'll hear from Dykesy soon enough.
Can I just ask you about Kieran Tierney as well? If he plays tomorrow, he'll earn his 50th Scotland cap and head into the international Roll of Honour. Just talk to us about his contribution over the years for you with Scotland. How good has he been?
Obviously, we've shown over his career, Kieran, that he's a top player. We're lucky to have him. In recent years, he's had one or two little injury issues that's probably restricted his number of caps. But he's one of those players that we identified very early. I remember going into London to meet him when he just moved to Arsenal, to speak to him about his role within the squad and what we expected from him. Since then, myself and Kieran have had a really good relationship. So we should be grateful that we've got him, and hopefully we've got him. It doesn't stop at 50 and the caps keep coming, because that's what I set out to do, was to cap a number of players that would be the core of this squad moving forward. And so many players in the squad now that are over 50, and Kieran's just another one to add to that.
Steve, what will the approach be to these friendlies? Will you use them to try and experiment a little bit, or is it more important to try and get some wins on the board, so you might go with the kind of strongest 11?
I think you know me quite well by now. We don't really experiment too much. I think the process with any team, but especially a national team, is there has to be a cycle, there has to be a turnover of players eventually. Now, people make a lot, there's 7 uncapped players in this squad, but you're bringing these young players in to feel the level of the group, to understand where they need to get to be selected regularly for the national team. That's important. It's important not to discard the ones that have been relatively successful over certainly my 6 years in charge, and make sure that there's always a little production line of players coming through that we can rely on in the future.
Do you sense that those players you're talking about, the kind of younger ones, that are soaking all that up and are kind of embracing that and reacting well to it?
Yeah, I think so. There's 1 or 2 of them come into this camp better than the last time they came to camp.